Are you still trying to pick up your goods by printing out all the sales orders? Do you think it is the best way to manage your orders picking? Let me introduce a better solution to improve your orders picking efficiency. It's Autosimply Picklist. You can use it as a standalone module with say 300 order entry, or use it together with Autosimply Barcode. With Autosimply Picklist, you can create picklists against single or multiple sales orders. Then, you can view different picklists through Barcode app. After picking the right products, you can update the status in the mobile. And all the data will be transferred to back office immediately. Then, you can create multiple shipments against picklist. With Autosimply Picklist, you will manage your orders picking efficiently, such as real-time posting of pick and pack by frontline warehouse personnel, low ownership costs, quick go live and roll out to warehouses. Come and talk to us about more details of Autosimply Picklist.
Without further ado, let's jump straight into the demo.
After installing Barcode 2022, the Picklist function actually resides within the order entry module. So that means even if you don't want to use Barcode, you can install it. The ID Picklist function would still be shown on the order entry module, and it would function using the desktop screens of Sage. So this is not yet supporting web screens at the moment. It has to be the classic screens of Sage. If I click on the ID Picklist function, you can see here that now we have this small routine for pick lists. So the first functionality there is generating of pick lists. So if I open the screen, as you can imagine, this is the standard way that I would want to extract sales orders into a pick list. So it's based on filters on order number, item number, it could be category, of course, customers, their location, ship via, and then you have the order dates, delivery by, and the expected shipment dates, filters. So if I have a sales order, I'll just create a new one. So 1400 is my customer. Just for today, the item I want to process is a fluorescent task lamp for 100 pieces. And I'll just create one with a lot number or serial track item. So let's say I have this sales order. So that's order 74. And let me now just extract that specific order into this screen. So order 74. So this is now this item to be picked. And of course, I could select which ones in particular would be processed. But just to make it simple, let's say I want to process this one order and create a pick list. So this is now generating a pick list number 3, which could be a combination of multiple sales orders, multiple items with different delivery dates. The next step would be to do the pick list processing. And here you can see that I could call out the pick list. And from here, aside from putting descriptions, references, and comments, I could actually allocate how much I really want to pick. And if, let's say, the item is lot track, I could also strictly allocate that I want them to pick, let's say, from this particular lot 5, and then add another one, let's say from this lot 5. So this is like replacing the order entry lot allocation. We can also support that if the client wants to put in the lot to be picked on order entry. But this is actually a better way of doing it, we think. And let's say I want to pick 10 of this and save. From here, of course, I could print out my pick list. So I could generate a pick list report and print it out. This is like a pick list form that we just designed to be the default pick list format for us. So my crystal is a bit slow. Just wait for it for a moment. So it could look something like this. And after the picking, of course, if I don't have barcode, then the only thing that they can do is go back to my pick list screen and actually confirm how much are they picking at this moment, how much has already been picked for that item. And notice now that I could select which lot and change the quantities. So let's say 2 here and then 3 there. At this point, that's what I have picked. I could save this and come back to it for additional picking at a later time. So that's what the Picklist module is doing on the desktop user interface. Ideally, the client would use it together with barcode. So once somebody has created the pick list, then in the real world, the user can then use the barcode mobile devices to do picking. So again, I would scan the pick list, or I can just look for it if I want to. And then let's say, and from here, just input what I am picking. So let's say for the answering machine serial track item, let's say out of this quantity to be picked, I have picked 15, and then I can allocate serial numbers if I want. So this is the lazy way of doing it. Ideally, of course, they are not doing it that way. They should be scanning the serials real time. But if they don't have scanners, just as I showed you earlier, I can do it this way as well. So I can show which serial numbers are available and then pick accordingly. The same for calculator, which is lot track. I could also search and then assign maybe picking from here and here. So let's say just 6. So this is what I have picked. And then eventually I would post. Okay, before I post, let me just highlight that in barcode, starting from 6.8, actually we have added this review screen. So people can actually review what they are doing prior to posting it. And then this is now updating the pick list. So that's now reflecting on pick list number 2. And if I go back here, you would see here that the system actually is showing what I have picked. And then if I look at the lot numbers, it's this one. So essentially, that's what the Picklist module is doing. Eventually, once we are ready, this is approved. And then notice now that the create shipment function is enabled. And if I click on create shipment, it's just triggering. This is because I printed the data a while ago. It would just trigger the creation of a shipment in Sage OE. So something like this. So if it's approved, it will just create the shipment 68, and then you would now have that record within Sage. All right. So that's basically Picklist. Some additional features here. Notice that if the Picklist is dealing with a lot of items, I have actually the option to do some filtering at the pick list screen. So maybe I want to specify a certain location only, or it could be, let's say, item number or description. So let's say it's lamp. So I could actually apply this filter. The date has to match, of course. But this one would then allow me to filter according to what items would be processed. Okay. So let me just quickly reiterate that the barcode solution does work on different devices. So primarily right now we're working with Android devices, something like a handheld Zebra MC33 or TC20. It could also work with phones and tablets. So some clients will just add a barcode gun to a tablet and then scan using that method. We can work with Apple devices as well. So the only requirement is version 9 or later. So that means iPhones, iPads, and just like what I'm showing you right now, it can also run on Windows 10, 11 UWP. So as long as we are using those operating systems, we can support it on laptop and PCs as well. And before I answer the questions that are being added, I just want to, of course, reiterate in terms of Sage version support. So we limit it now to 2018 to, of course, the current 2022. So that's version 6.5 to 6.9. So this is mainly because we wanted to limit the testing that we have to do from a quality control perspective. So if you have a client that needs integration to an older version of Sage, like 2017, 2015, we might have to look at it on a per project basis, just so that we need to check if the function that we want can still work with that old version of Sage. All right. And again, for those who are not familiar with barcode, I also just want to highlight that we do support GS1 HIBC barcodes. So that means we can actually combine multiple information into one label. So in this example, I have the item number, the lot number, the serial number, and the expiry date. So that's 4 information into one barcode. And of course, if we don't want it to be that long, you can always use GS1 data matrix or GS1 QR code to do it. So essentially, that's for my presentation.
Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more upcoming videos.